My name's Brittany Lane, 25, and my mom's birthday party started like always with me stuck cleaning up. I was scrubbing plates, setting tables while my family lounged. My brother smirked phone in hand, secretly recording me. Hours later, my friend texted frantic, "Check Twitter, now." There, it was a video of me cleaning posted by my brother with a caption that burned. "Look at this failure. My parents messed up having her. My mom liked it." My dad laughed in the background. My stomach dropped. The betrayal hit like a slap, my own family mocking me for the world to see. I confronted my mom. She shrugged, saying, "It's just a joke." My dad didn't even look up. I grabbed my keys, heart pounding, and stormed out, vowing never to return. That night, everything I thought I knew about my family unraveled, but what came next was even worse. Want to know how this family drama exploded? Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment about your own family betrayals, and join me as I spill every shocking detail. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a text from my brother Hunter. "Unlock the account, Brittany. I need cash." My hands shook as I read it, the sting of his Twitter video still raw. I was at my grandma Martha's house trying to process how my family humiliated me. I ignored the message, but minutes later my mom Carol called. "You're being selfish," she snapped. "Your brother needs help." Why can't you share? Her words cut deep, assuming I'd just give in. My dad Kenneth didn't bother calling, his silent screaming. He sided with Hunter. I wasn't surprised. Hunter was always their favorite, the golden child who could do no wrong. I texted my friend Rachel, desperate for clarity. She rushed over, her face grim. "Let's check that joint account," she urged. We'd opened it years ago for shared expenses, but I'd locked it after noticing weird withdrawals. Sitting at Martha's kitchen table, we logged into the bank app. My jaw dropped. $3,000 gone. Hunter had blown it on designer sneakers, gaming gear, and bar tabs. "He's been using you," Rachel said, her voice tight. I wanted to scream. How could he be so reckless with my money? I thought of every late-night shift I'd worked, every dollar I'd saved, now thrown away on his whims. I called Hunter, my voice steady despite the rage. "Why'd you spend my money?" He laughed, dismissive. "It's our account, Brittany. Chill." I hung up, shaking. My mom called again, doubling down. "Hunter's just young," she said. "You're older. You should be responsible for him." Responsible? I'd been carrying their weight for years, cooking, cleaning, paying bills while they treated me like a doormat. Kenneth finally texted a curt, "Help your brother." Not a word about the video, not a hint of support for me. Rachel grabbed her laptop, pulling up transaction details. "Look at this," she said, pointing to a receipt for a $500 jacket. "He's not even hiding it." Each purchase felt like a betrayal, a reminder they saw me as a bank, not family. I wanted to confront them all, but doubt crept in. Was I overreacting? Had I done something to deserve this? Rachel saw my hesitation. "You don't owe them anything," she said firmly. "They're taking advantage of you." I turned to my grandma Martha, who'd been listening quietly. Her eyes were sharp, filled with a knowing sadness. "You've been too good to them, Brittany," she said. "They've leaned on you for years, and it's time you stop letting them." Her words hit hard, grounding me. She'd seen how my parents favored Hunter, how they excused his every mistake. "Don't let them guilt you," she added. "You're stronger than that." I nodded, resolve building. I wasn't going to unlock the account or let Hunter skate by. Rachel and I started screenshotting every transaction, saving texts from Hunter and my mom. "We need proof," Rachel said, her marketing job giving her a knack for details. She'd dealt with her own credit issues before, so she knew how to track this. "He can't keep doing this," she said. I agreed. This wasn't just about $3,000, it was about respect. By noon, I sent Hunter a final text. "The account stays locked. Pay me back." He didn't reply, but my mom called again, furious. "You're tearing this family apart," she shouted. I held the phone away, her voice echoing. Tearing the family apart. They'd done that when they mocked me online. Kenneth sent another text, colder this time. "Fix this, Brittany. No apology, No accountability. Martha put a hand on my shoulder. "You don't have to fix their mess," she said. Her voice was steady, a lifeline in the chaos. I looked at Rachel, who was already drafting an email to the bank to flag the transactions. "We'll figure this out," she promised. I felt a spark of hope, but also dread. If Hunter could do this, what else were they hiding? I wasn't ready for the answer, but I knew I had to keep digging. That night, my friend Rachel sent me an urgent message. "Hunter's at it again." Her text read, with a link to Twitter. My stomach churned as I clicked. There, in a new post, my brother Hunter had shared pages from my old journal, scribbled dreams of becoming a writer from when I was 16. His caption was brutal. "Check out Brittany's pathetic fantasies. She'll never make it." Strangers piled on their comments, mocking my hopes. My face burned with shame, but more than that, rage. He'd gone through my private thoughts, weaponizing them to humiliate me again. I called Rachel, my voice trembling. How did he even get my journal? She didn't know, but she was furious too. "He's crossing every line," she said. Then it hit me: my journal was in my old bedroom at my parents' house, along with a keepsake music box from my late maternal grandmother. I hadn't checked my room since moving to my grandma Martha's. Panic surged. Had Hunter taken more than just words? I texted my cousin Logan, who lived near my parents. "Can you check my old room?" I asked, explaining the journal. Logan, always calm and practical, agreed instantly. "I'll go tomorrow," he said. I barely slept, dreading what else Hunter might have stolen. My parents hadn't reached out since our fight over the $3,000, and their silence felt like complicity. The next morning, Logan called. "Brittany, I'm at the house," he said, voice low. "Your journal was on Hunter's desk, and I found the music box in his closet." My heart sank. That box, a delicate silver piece that played Claire de Lune, was one of the last gifts from my grandmother. It wasn't just an object, it was a piece of her, of me. "There's more," Logan added. "I found a note in his drawer bragging about selling your stuff online." Selling my stuff? The betrayal deepened, each revelation a fresh cut. I asked Logan to grab the box and journal, and he did, slipping in while my mom Carol and dad Kenneth were out. He sent me a photo of the note, written in Hunter's messy scrawl. "Brittany's junk could make me some cash." My hands clenched. He wasn't just mocking me, he was profiting off my pain. Rachel, reading over my shoulder, gasped. "He's disgusting," she said. "We need to keep this note as evidence." I called Hunter, my voice cold. "Why'd you take my music box?" He didn't even flinch. "It's just some old junk," he sneered. "You left it behind." Left it behind. I'd moved out 2 days ago because of his stunt. I hung up, too angry to speak. Rachel urged me to stay focused. "He's trying to bait you," she said. "Don't let him win." I showed the note to my grandma Martha, who shook her head. "Hunter's always been spoiled," she said, her tone sharp. "Your parents let him get away with everything." Her words stirred something in me, doubt about my entire family. If Hunter could steal my memories and my mom and dad didn't stop him, what else were they capable of? I thought of Carol's quick defense of Hunter, Kenneth's cold texts. Were they part of this too? Logan dropped off the music box that afternoon. I held it, tracing its worn edges, hearing my grandmother's voice in my mind. Losing it would have broken me, but getting it back fueled my resolve. Rachel suggested we check Hunter's Twitter again, and we found more comments, some calling me delusional for my writing dreams. Each word stung, but I refused to let it break me. "We'll deal with him," Rachel said, her legal knowledge kicking in. "This isn't just personal, it's theft." I started saving screenshots of Hunter's posts, his note, and the comments. Rachel helped me organize everything, her experience with paperwork making her a lifeline. "If he's selling your stuff, that's a crime," she said. I nodded, my mind racing. Hunter's actions weren't just cruel, they were reckless, maybe even illegal. But I couldn't shake the fear. What if my parents were covering for him? Their silence felt heavier now, less like neglect, and more like betrayal. Martha sat me down before bed. "You're stronger than they think," she said. "Don't let their actions define you." Her words steadied me, but the weight of Hunter's betrayal clung tight. I knew this wasn't the end. Something bigger was lurking, and I had to face it head-on. By Thursday morning, I sat with my Grandma Martha in her cozy dining room. My mind was still reeling from Hunter's latest stunt, stealing my journal and music box. I confided in Martha about my growing distrust of my family. She looked at me, her eyes sharp but heavy. "There's something you need to know," she said, voice low. "Your mom Carol lied to your aunt about you." I froze. "What do you mean?" I asked. Martha sighed. "A year ago, Carol borrowed money from your aunt saying it was for your college tuition, but you paid for college yourself." My heart pounded. I'd worked 2 jobs through school, scraping by to avoid debt. The idea that my mom used my name to borrow money was a gut punch. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" I demanded. Martha's face softened. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said. "But after everything, Hunter's video, the money he took, your journal, I can't stay silent." Her words confirmed my worst fears. My family wasn't just neglecting me, they were exploiting me. I called my friend Rachel immediately. "We need to check my credit," I said, voice shaking. Rachel, who'd navigated her own legal disputes, was already on her laptop. "Let's pull your credit report," she said, clicking through a site she trusted. Within minutes, we were staring at the screen, my worst nightmare unfolding. There it was, a $5,000 loan opened in my name, dated 6 months ago. The lender's records listed payments to a tech store and a car rental agency, purchases I'd never made. "Hunter," I whispered. "Only he could have done this." Rachel's eyes narrowed. "This is identity fraud," she said, her marketing job giving her enough legal savvy to recognize it. "He used your info to open this loan. We can report this." I nodded, anger replacing shock. Hunter hadn't just taken my journal or spent $3,000 from our account. He'd stolen my identity, risking my future. I thought of my mom's lie to my aunt, her quick defense of Hunter. Was she in on this too? We dug deeper into the report. The loan had my social security number. My birth date details only family could access. I called my aunt, voice steady despite the rage. "Did Mom borrow money for my tuition?" I asked. She hesitated. "Yes, last year," she said. "She said you were struggling." Struggling? I'd been independent since 19. The betrayal stung deeper than Hunter's Twitter posts. Carol had used my name, my reputation, for her own gain. Rachel started pulling documents, bank statements, the credit report, even screenshots of Hunter's texts demanding money. "We need everything to build a case," she said. I agreed, my resolve hardening. I wasn't just fighting for $5,000, I was fighting for my dignity. Martha handed me an old text from my aunt confirming Carol's story about the tuition loan. "Use this," she said. "They can't hide from the truth." I tried calling my mom, hoping for an explanation. "You're making a big deal out of nothing," Carol snapped when I mentioned the loan. "Hunter needed help, and I did what I had to." I was stunned. She didn't deny it, she justified it. My dad, Kenneth, didn't pick up, but his silence spoke volumes. They'd both enabled Hunter, letting him cross every line. I hung up my hands, trembling with fury. Rachel outlined our next steps. "We can file a fraud report with the credit bureau," she said. "And we should talk to a lawyer." Her confidence steadied me. She'd taken a legal course in college, enough to know the basics of identity theft. "This could hurt your credit for years if we don't act," she warned. I nodded, determined to protect myself. I started gathering more evidence, my pay stubs to prove I'd paid for college, my aunt's text, the credit report details. Every document felt like armor against my family's betrayal. Martha watched me work, her expression proud but pained. "You're doing the right thing," she said. "They've taken enough from you." Her support anchored me, reminding me I wasn't alone. Rachel and I spent hours organizing our findings, labeling each file carefully. "If Hunter thinks he can get away with this, he's wrong," Rachel said, her voice fierce. I felt a surge of strength. My brother and parents had underestimated me, but I wasn't backing down. By evening, I had a folder full of evidence proof of Hunter's loan, Carol's lie, and their refusal to take responsibility. I knew confronting them directly might not work, but I was ready to take legal steps. The weight of their actions pressed on me, but so did my determination. This wasn't just about money, it was about reclaiming my life. Saturday afternoon, I walked into a Denver coffee shop to face my brother Hunter. My blood boiled from his betrayals. The Twitter video, the $3,000 he stole my journal, my music box, and now a $5,000 loan in my name. I spotted him slouched in a corner, smirking like he'd done nothing wrong. I sat down, my voice steady. "Why'd you open a loan in my name?" I demanded. Hunter rolled his eyes. "You're blowing this out of proportion," he said. "I needed the cash and you weren't using your credit." My jaw tightened. He was blaming me for his theft. I pressed harder. "And my journal. My music box. You think that's okay?" Hunter leaned back, scoffing. "You're too sensitive," he said. "It's not my fault you left your stuff lying around." His arrogance stunned me. He didn't care about the pain he'd caused, he just deflected. I was about to fire back when my phone buzzed. It was my mom, Carol, calling on speaker. "Brittany, stop attacking your brother," she snapped. "He's young and made mistakes." Mistakes. This wasn't a spilled drink, it was calculated. I hung up, but then my dad, Kenneth, called. "Hunter's trying to get by," he said, voice flat. "Why can't you support him? Support him." They were siding with him again, ignoring how he'd humiliated and robbed me. I ended the call, my hands shaking. Hunter smirked wider. "See, Mom and Dad get it," he said. "You're the problem." I stood to leave, done with his games, when my friend Rachel texted me. "Check your work email now," she wrote. I logged in on my phone, heart racing. A security alert showed multiple failed login attempts from an unknown device. Rachel called, her voice urgent. "Hunter tried hacking your work email," she said. "I traced the IP, it's from his laptop." I stared at Hunter, who was now scrolling his phone, oblivious. "You tried to hack my email?" I asked, voice low. He shrugged. "Needed some info," he said, like it was nothing. My mind raced. My work email had client data, my pay stubs, sensitive information he could have used to hurt me more. Rachel, with her knack for tech from her marketing job, had caught him by checking my account's login history. "This is serious," she said over the phone. "He could have accessed your job records or worse." I felt sick. Hunter wasn't just reckless, he was dangerous. I leaned forward, staring him down. "You're done using me," I said. He laughed, but I didn't flinch. "I'm reporting everything, the loan, the theft, the hacking." His smirk faded, replaced by a flicker of panic. "You wouldn't dare," he said. I didn't respond. I walked out, my resolve ironclad. In the car, I blocked Hunter's number. No more texts, no more excuses. Then I blocked Carol and Kenneth too. Their blind support for him was the final straw. Rachel met me outside, her laptop open. "I saved logs of the hack attempts," she said. "We can add this to the fraud report." Her legal knowledge was a lifeline. She knew hacking was a crime, especially if it targeted work accounts. "You need to protect yourself," she urged. I nodded, feeling a mix of anger and clarity. My family had crossed every boundary, but I wasn't their victim anymore. I thought of my grandma Martha's words. "They've taken enough from you." She was right. Hunter's actions, mocking me, stealing my money, my memories, my identity, weren't just personal attacks. They were assaults on my future. Carol and Kenneth's refusal to hold him accountable made them complicit. I wasn't just fighting for justice, I was fighting for my life. By evening, I sat with Rachel, adding the email hack evidence to our folder, screenshots of the loan, my aunt's text, Hunter's note about selling my stuff. Each piece felt like a step toward freedom. I wasn't sure what came next, but I knew one thing: I'd never let them drag me down again. The following Monday, my friend Rachel and I sat in a lawyer's office. The folder of evidence screenshots of Hunter's Twitter posts, the $5,000 loan, his hack attempts on my work email. My aunt's text about my mom, Carol's lie lay heavy in my hands. I was done being my family's punching bag. The lawyer, a sharp woman named Ms. Carter, reviewed our documents. "This is solid," she said. "Identity fraud and attempted hacking are serious. We can file a police report and notify the credit bureau." My stomach twisted, but I nodded. This was my line in the sand. Rachel, with her knack for legal details, walked Ms. Carter through our timeline. Hunter used Brittany's identity for a loan and tried accessing her work email, she explained. Her mom covered for him. Ms. Carter raised an eyebrow. "Your mother's involvement complicates things," she said. "We'll include her loan deception in the report." I felt a pang of guilt reporting my own mom, but their actions left me no choice. Back at my Grandma Martha's house, I checked my personal email for anything we'd missed. That's when I found it, an old message from Carol sent months ago after a fight. "Hunter's weaker than you," it read. "He needs more support. Don't be so hard on him." My breath caught. She admitted favoring him not because he deserved it, but because she saw him as fragile. It wasn't just bias, it was an excuse for enabling his crimes. I forwarded the email to Rachel, my hands trembling. "This changes everything," Rachel said. "It's proof she knew and didn't stop him." I showed the email to Martha, expecting her to soften. Instead, she was resolute. "You're not to blame for their choices," she said, her voice firm. "They've leaned on you too long, Brittany. Let the law handle them." Her words cut through my doubt. For years, I'd carried the weight of their expectations, but no more. Martha's support gave me strength to keep going, no matter how painful. Rachel and I returned to Miss Carter's office the next day to file the police report. I detailed everything: Hunter's $3,000 spending spree, the $5,000 loan, the stolen music box, the hacked email attempts. The officer taking my statement nodded grimly. "We'll open an investigation," he said. Identity theft is a felony. Hearing that word, felony, made it real. Hunter wasn't just my reckless brother. He was a criminal. And Carol, by lying to my aunt and defending him, was complicit. Word spread fast. My aunt called furious after learning Carol used my name for her loan. "I trusted her," she said. "We all did." My cousin Logan texted saying other relatives were cutting contact with Carol and Kenneth. Their reputation was crumbling, and for once I didn't feel responsible. Kenneth sent me a text, "You're ruining us." I didn't reply. His silence during my humiliation spoke louder than his words now. Rachel kept digging, checking my accounts for more breaches. "We need to lock everything down," she said, helping me reset passwords and add two-factor authentication. Her tech skills were a godsend. She'd caught Hunter's hack attempt early, saving me from worse damage. "He might try again," she warned. I nodded, determined to stay one step ahead. We sent the fraud report to the credit bureau, freezing my credit to block further damage. By Wednesday, the police confirmed they were investigating Hunter for identity theft and attempted hacking. Ms. Carter called with an update. "They've questioned him," she said. "He's claiming it was a misunderstanding, but your evidence is strong." A misunderstanding. Hunter's lies were unraveling, and I felt a strange relief. Carol called, her voice shrill. "How could you do this to your brother?" she demanded. I stayed calm. "You did this by protecting him," I said, then hung up. That was the last time I spoke to her. Kenneth tried one last message: "Fix this, Brittany." I blocked his number just as I had Hunter's and Carol's. Cutting them off felt like shedding a heavy chain. I'd spent years trying to please them, only to be mocked, used, and betrayed. Martha sat me down that night. "You're free now," she said, her eyes warm. "You don't owe them anything." Her words settled deep, a reminder that I was worth more than their lies. Rachel and I reviewed our next steps. The credit bureau flagged the $5,000 loan as fraudulent, and the police were building a case against Hunter. Carol's deception with my aunt was noted in the report, though her punishment was less clear. My relatives, once loyal to my parents, now saw their true colors. Logan told me Kenneth lost a family friend's respect at work, and Carol was shunned at a community event. Their world was shrinking, but mine was opening. I looked at the folder of evidence now thicker with the email from Carol. Each piece was a testament to my fight, not just against Hunter's crimes, but against a family that chose him over me. I was ready to close this chapter no matter what it took. A month later, I stood in my new apartment near a Denver park. The small space with its bare walls and single window felt like freedom. I'd cut ties with my brother Hunter, my mom Carol, and my dad Kenneth after their betrayals. The police investigation into Hunter's identity fraud was moving forward. My lawyer, Ms. Carter, called with an update. Hunter's facing charges for the $5,000 loan, she said. The hacking attempts strengthened the case. I exhaled, relieved. Justice was slow, but it was coming. Carol and Kenneth's world was unraveling too. My aunt, furious about Carol's tuition loan, spread the word among relatives. Logan told me family gatherings now excluded my parents. Kenneth's colleagues distanced themselves after hearing about his role in enabling Hunter. Carol faced whispers at her book club, her reputation tarnished. I didn't gloat it hurt to see them fall, but I felt no guilt. They'd chosen to protect Hunter over me, and now they faced the consequences. I'd signed a lease on this apartment with help from my grandma Martha. She'd insisted I take some of her savings for the deposit. You deserve a fresh start, she said, her voice warm. I hugged her, grateful for her unwavering support. Rachel, my friend, spent days helping me move hauling boxes and cracking jokes to keep my spirits high. Logan dropped by with a coffee maker, a small gesture that meant the world. Their support reminded me I wasn't alone, even without my immediate family. Finding a stable job was my next step. My administrative assistant role had been draining, so I applied for a position at a local publishing house. It wasn't writing, but it was close to my dream. Rachel proofread my resume, her marketing skills sharpening every word. You've got this, she said, handing me the final draft. I landed an interview the next week, a spark of hope in a long fight. Martha beamed when I told her. You're building your own path, she said. Her pride fueled me. I thought back to the chaos, Hunter's mocking Twitter video, the $3,000 he took, my stolen journal, the music box, the $5,000 loan, his hacking attempt, Carol's lies. Each betrayal had pushed me to this point. I'd spent years trying to please them, believing family came first. But their actions taught me a hard truth. Some ties are toxic. Setting boundaries wasn't selfish, it was survival. I'd lost my parents and brother, but I'd gained self-respect. Rachel stopped by one evening carrying takeout. We sat on my floor, no furniture yet, and talked about the future. You're stronger than you know, she said. I smiled, feeling the weight of her words. Logan texted later, inviting me to a cousin's barbecue. Family's more than blood, he wrote. He was right. Martha, Rachel, and Logan were my true family, now chosen through loyalty, not obligation. The investigation into Hunter progressed. Ms. Carter said he might face fines or jail time depending on the evidence. I didn't wish him harm, but I needed him to face accountability. Carol sent me one last email pleading for forgiveness. We're still your parents, she wrote. I deleted it without replying. Kenneth never reached out, his silence a final confirmation of his choice. I was done chasing their approval. My new life wasn't perfect. The apartment was tiny, my savings slim, but it was mine, built on my terms. I started writing again, small pieces at night inspired by my old journal. The dreams Hunter mocked were still alive, and I wouldn't let him steal them. Martha's encouragement echoed in my mind. You're free now. Freedom meant more than a new address. It meant choosing myself. The biggest lesson hit me as I unpacked my music box, its faint Clair de Lune filling the room. Toxic family will drain you if you let them. I'd spent years bending to their demands, hoping for love that never came. Cutting them off wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Independence trumped fake reconciliation every time. Protecting my dignity meant walking away no matter how painful. I'd built a new life with people who valued me, and that was worth everything.